Welcome to the buzzing German capital of Berlin for day 2 of the FISU World University Games. And, well, as you can see, it is diving. It's the discipline. The Europa Sport Park is the hub of diving and swimming action here in the capital city of Germany. 2 finals in the diving pool today. The women's synchronized 3-meter springboard final. And then we have the men's 3-meter springboard final to wrap up day 2. But we start off with the women's synchronized 3-meter springboard final. Lots of support for the German pair who finished 6th together in the Paris Olympics 2024 in this same event. Lena Henschel, gold in the mixed 3-meter synchro with Luis Sanchez yesterday. And Jette Müller with her first dive. That's lovely. Plenty of support, as you can see. But also credit, everybody applauds, fine dives. And I think that's a slick operation there for Lena Henschel and Jette Müller, 21-year-old from Rostock. A double gold medal winner in the World Juniors in 2021 in this event, but individual event. And a fantastic score, 47.4 points. Now, the leaders, reverse pike position here for Yang Wu, Wang Weiying. Yeah, again, that is just excellent diving. It's so slick when you have divers who really come together, they connect, and everything is just clockwork. Such an elegant and a simple dive it looks like, of course. We will get into the higher degrees of difficulty, but when you actually see the push, the arms go back, straight up to the toes, locking out vertical position, nice entry, minimum splash, and 46.8, so that's really good. That's 94.2. It's been an interesting second round. At the top, we have the Chinese pairing of Wang and Ouyang, of course, out of Germany, and Korean Republic, Italy, USA. Now, So-yeon, Choi, Yu, Jeong. Inward 2.5, tuck 2.7. Lots of applause, lots of cheering for the pairing. Execution good, synchronization a little bit off, but it's still a solid dive. And that will give them over the 50-point barrier. 51.03, 142, and up into 3rd position. Straight back for a forward 3.5 tuck position, 2.8 for Lainey and Eliana, bronze medalists from yesterday. That is fantastic. That's a great dive. And a real solid dive with quite a big DD. They'll be very happy with that. Eliana and Lainey, just look at that. Squeezing and just making sure that you really get into that position. There's the tuck position, and then got to really hold it tight and then come out of it. And strong reaction from their teammates and fans, 65.52, and that takes them up to 201.18. That is solid. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Inward 2.5 pike position. It's 3. Ouyang, Yu, Wang, Weiying, leaders so far by 2 points. Well, they've just recovered so well. The last dive, we saw that it wasn't the best that they've produced. And we see them dive so well, you know, in training. But that was sublime. Look at it's symmetry all the way. Good entry. And there'll be some 8s, 8.5s in there. That really is sublime. Look at the locked position, the arms going across behind the legs, and then afterwards coming out of that. That's a really good score. Look at that, 69.3 and 223.8. Next up, Lena Henschel, Jettemüller forward 3.5. It was good, but you can see that there's a little bit of distance on point of entry, so the synchronization will have suffered on that occasion. It was good in flight, battle at the end. They got good height, and there's the push. If you push a little bit too far and you're going outwards rather than upwards and outwards marginally, then of course then there's a little bit of a fight to get your right entry. And they paid the price for that a little bit, 55.8. As we take a look at round 4 going into the final dive, there we are. And they've made a bit of a difference there, 15 points, the Chinese pair. Germany second ahead of USA. It's been the story of these finals so far. There's the American pair back up on the 3 meter. And they'll be just rolling that wheel to make sure that they get the right amount of bounce. This is a forward 2.5 with a twist in the pike position. It's a big DD, this really is. That's a great dive. That's really good. Love the way that they're working really hard to come out of the rotation to get that locked position on vertical entry. It's just really, you know, and there's a big hug there because they know that they've nailed it. First of all, great off the board, straight into the rotation, and then because there's quite a lot of dive, they get good height, but they're very much, you know, aligned with each other. And good entry. They'll be very content with that score. Look, 64.8 and 265.98 straight into the top position. This is what we're looking at now. Back 2.5 pike position. A DD of 3 for Wang Weiying, Yang Yu. Ubishi, Wang Weiying. 4 gold medals in Chengdu. Oh, it's a strong way to finish, and logically they'll move to the top of the pile. You can see the reaction from all of the Chinese supporters and fellow athletes here. That is logically going to be enough to push them to the top as they wait to see what the German pair will do. Entry not exactly vertical, and it's going to be 50, 60, no, I think maybe on the cusp of 70. Well, there it is, 71.1, 294.9 points, and locked in the top position for the time being. Now it's time for the challengers. Lena Henschel, Jettemüller, reverse 2.5 pike. Well, they won't get the points that they need to knock the Chinese pair off the top of the ranking, because, well, they needed 82 points and it's not going to happen. There you go, the entry suffering a little bit. She couldn't get herself back around Jettemüller. Really well worked dive, Lena Henschel. Also just having a little bit of the legs just not straightening up. 54.9, third position on 263. We have our winners. Congratulations, China pick up their second gold medal in 3 events now. And Wang Weiying She took 4 gold medals in Chengdu in the last edition of the FISU World University Games, her first event. She gets gold again alongside Yang Yu, with silver medals this time for Eleni and Eliana. They got bronze medals yesterday in 2 different events. Now they get silver, and Lena Henschel, Jette Müller adding a bronze to her gold medal from yesterday, and a first medal for Jette Müller. It's the men's 3-meter springboard final coming up, and after the prelims yesterday, we get to see the 12 best divers in this category. There's a start list starting with Maxwell Miller and Ukraine, Italy, German pair as well. Ukraine will be strong out here today. International neutral athletes as well being represented. The Korean pair of Kim Ji-wook and, of course, Young Taek Kim, and the 2 Chinese divers, Wenyao Zhang and Yu Kang-hu. Stefano Bellotti, 20 years of age, from Bergamo in Lombardy. That's a good strong dive for the Italian. He's 21 years of age, and on the 23rd of July, bronze in the Europeans in the 1 meter individual event last year in Belgrade. And a very strong diver. Excellent work, very rigorous in the way that he gets him set in that position. 74.4, as I said, very strong. Tim Axer, reverse 3.5. Does well, does really well. And he's quite a tall guy, as Tim, 18 years of age, loves cars, wants to work in the car industry. He studies industrial engineering. Well, he's just engineered something beautiful there. Wonderful tuck position, coming out of it, fighting to get himself into that really nice position. But just look at the strength coming off the board, tightened up and then coming out of it. 78.75. That is a fabulous second round score. The 2 Chinese divers not in the top position now. It's Stefano Bellotti of Italy, who's got a 6-point lead over Tim Axer, the 18-year-old German. First 3.5. Tuck position for Moritz Wessermann, 3.5. That's a great dive. What I like about Moritz is that he does get that extra bit of height. The 23-year-old, he's very familiar with the fact that, you know, using the strength that he has. Just look at the height that he gets. He's pushed down so hard, goes up straight into that tuck position, goes right through 4.5 somersaults. That's a lot of spinning, believe you me, and that 84 points is definitely well deserved. And then he's got time to get out of it. He moves up into the top spot. Yu Kang, reverse 1.5, 3.5, 3.5, free position. Another beautiful dive and another big score coming up. They dominated Chengdu, winning all of the medals in the last edition of the FISU World University Games. And just look at the strength coming off that sweet spot. The twists perfectly executed. The entry was great. Now that's going to be 80 points or thereabouts, surely. 78.75 and up to 219, which means that the 2 Chinese divers are at the top of the table. Moritz Wessermann back 3.5 tuck position. It's a 3.6. It's a big dive and it's a big moment for him to make his mark and try and push for the top place on the podium. Yeah, again, you can just see all of this rotation. You know, it's a back 3.5, so it's a very technical dive. Tuck position. So it's a big DD, and that factor, look at the push down. It goes right up, straight into that position. Really working hard to keep himself, you know, thighs to the chest, heels to the backside. And he should get a pretty good score, 68.4. Perfectly judged, I think. Fighting for a place on the podium. Reverse 3.5, tuck. 3.5 for Luke Sitz. He gets great height. Can he pack it all in and get a good entry? That's wonderful. That's a really top quality dive. And he will be absolutely stoked with that. Humbly clambering out of the water when he greets his coaches. Let's see what they've got to say. But that was really good. He really worked hard for that. Fighting to get himself that vertical entry. But there'll be some good yeah, that's 84. That's totally deserved. 284. And he moves into second place behind Moritz Wessermann. Now, Zhang Wenao, forward 2.5, 3 twist. Look at this. Pike position, 3.9 the DD. This is the most difficult, most technical dive we've seen so far. Well, the entry wasn't good there. But in terms of execution in flight, you'll see that there will be some good scores coming from the judges. But the fact that the execution on entry didn't go as planned, there's a lot of, look at that. It's going in basically as a jackknife, and that just will be judged quite heavily. And even though it's 3.9, it doesn't mean that you're still going to get massive points. And 52.65 and 284. This leaves everything up for grabs because Moritz Wessermann is the top diver at the moment. Hu Yu Kang in with 3.5, tuck position. It's not bad at all. Now, the question is, will it be good enough to get 67 points and move top of the pile ahead of Germany's Moritz Wessermann? Because the entry wasn't the best. It's going to be tight. I tell you, this is going to the wire. The excitement is being brought here to this wonderful diving pool in Berlin. 68 points, 287. And there's a, what, 0.3 points difference between Moritz Wessermann, who's in second place, and Hu Yu Kang. And they're playing musical chairs at the moment with Zhang Wenao in third position. This is very tight indeed. And 4 divers up in the 280, the mid 280s beyond, and only 3 points separating the top 4. Now, we will see how Moritz Wessermann gets on. Forward 4.5, tuck position. Well, he saved it. He went out quite far, but he did really, really well. He's so strong, Moritz, that he just enables himself to just get himself back on track. That was a 3.8 DD. He's going to get a big score for this, and it's going to keep him at the top of the pile. That was really, really smooth. Good hard work. Coaches like that. Look at that, 81.7 and up to 368. He does move into the top position. Sits next up, forward 4.5, looking for a place on the podium. Difficulty 3.8. Big dive this one for Luke. Tuck position. It's a good dive. Again, he's just showing us what he's capable of doing, the 18-year-old. And a national champion in the States, of course, working so hard on that dive. So look at the height that he gets, so strong, really squeezing fabulously to make sure that he just goes through the rotations and locating the water and gets himself in. It's a big score. He's managed to get 70.3 up to 354.50. Zhang Wenao, back 3.5 tuck position, 3.6. He's got 284.7. He needs 85 points to move top. And he's not going to get it with that entry. And, you know, it's not often that we see the Chinese divers who are just so impeccable, who are so meticulous, just not getting, just missing out a couple of little elements of their A game. Those legs going in, 45 points, knocks him down to 5th position. Moritz Vesserman, forward 2.5, 3 twist, pike position. DD of 3.9, massive dive. Well, that is fantastic. He will get a big score for that, and it's going to be 80s. Now the question is, can he keep, what medal will he get? We don't know just yet, but we know that things are going to shift. It was a fantastic dive, it really was. Got the height, he's got everything in. Wonderful rotations, twists as well. Coming out of it, great body movement, and he got the reach. Missing out a little bit on entry for the execution, but that's going to be a big score. Look at that, 85.8. And Luke sits. That's a 3.5, big dive for him. He's trying to get himself that place on the podium once again. He should logically move into 2nd place. He only needs 40 points. Good dive, very good dive. Look the way, again, he just gets so much height. And Luke will find himself on the podium now in 2nd place, ahead of Tim Axer. Moritz Vesserman is at the top with 4.5, 4.20. And 2 Chinese divers still to come. But Zhang Wenao will not be able to get on the podium. It's only Hu Yu-Kang, 3.7, 6.30. And Luke sits 4.29. Hu Yu-Kang, 3.9. Oh my word, it's strong, but is it strong enough to dislodge Moritz Vesserman? Big question. Hu Yu-Kang, I don't know, it's going to be so tight. He needs 78 points. Great rotation. And it's just gone in at an angle. I don't know if it's enough. 72.15, silver medal for Hu Yu-Kang. And it is Moritz Vesserman who takes the gold. And that is the 2nd gold medal here in Berlin for Team Germany. Wow, the 23-year-old delivers. That is fantastic. And look at that, 4.5, 4.20. Leading the way masterfully ahead of Hu Yu-Kang of China. Well, congratulations to our 3 medalists today. Moritz Vesserman, 23 years of age, and winning his 1st gold medal at the FISU World University Games. Hu Yu-Kang clambering up and finishing in the silver spot for his 1st medal here at these FISU Games. And Luke sits, the 18-year-old Texan, all smiles here.